Hey y'all, what's going on? It's the Coastal Critiques panel. We're back again to discuss The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City's season 6, episode 6, Out of Gas. Let's get into it.
Let's go, let's get it.
And we're here.
Hey everybody. Thank you for joining us.
We're here again, y'all, to discuss the best Housewives franchise that's market right now, Salt Lake City. We're finally on episode 6. We're really getting into the season, and I'll just say that I wasn't disappointed in this episode because I understand how they position these episodes and these seasons, y'all. But I'm sure some of y'all probably thought it was giving filler a little bit, but there's still enough for us to talk about. So I'm satisfied. I like to think my sister's satisfied too. So we're good.
They don't disappoint. I don't give a damn what nobody talking about. I mean, I do. Let me be clear, because I don't want to offend none of my cuties out there and none of my barbs out there, because oh my gosh, hello. Some people are very sensitive when I say things, and I don't say them to directly my followers. I was talking about others, or if it took, sometimes it flies out of my mouth and it might sound insensitive. We love all the people that come in our chat. Okay, we welcome you. Oh, sister, take care of the bit. It isness, please.
Yeah, it's. Before we get into it, y'all already know we need you to do a couple of things to include liking the video, because we are streaming for both of our channels. So hit the like button on both, please, and thank you. Also, if you're not a current subscriber, make sure you hit the subscription button and become a cutie, become a Barb's babe. We would both love to have you. Also, drop down in the comment section. Let us know how you feel about the episode, our commentary, and all things in between. Also, share us with your folks near and far. Hype up the video, do all the things, y'all. We really appreciate y'all's presence. You're really what makes this whole thing worthwhile. So yeah, we love y'all. We love y'all for real. And
every time.
The replay gang, and shout outs to number 1, Kansas in the chat.
Yay!
Love it. Thank you. Also, our good sis Noel Reese is in the chat. We appreciate you so much.
Love you, sister.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it. And yeah, we also got the first season premiere of Wife Swap, which we will be discussing. We're going to do a Bravo 411 update situation on Friday. So make sure you guys have on your push notifications so you know when we go live to talk about that. We'll save that for that episode, because Angie was actually on the premiere, since they took Wendy's episode and are going to now air it.
Scrap it. Did they scrap it?
No, it's airing, I think, November 9th.
Okay, I have to say wherever. Because she goes to court
on the 7th
November.
So that'll be interesting.
Very.
But yeah, we'll talk about Angie's episode on Friday. So
yes.
What did you think though? Did anything in particular? Oh, actually, why am I even asking you this? Because I already probably know what scene probably really made you most passionate. I know what scene made me feel my emotions very intensely. So we'll see when we get to that scene if that's also the scene that also made your blood boil, so to speak, maybe. Yeah.
There's a couple of scenes that made my blood boil. Couple. And can we shout out my sister? She's in the chat.
Yes. Hey Mal. Love you.
Love you too, sister.
Oh yeah, there was quite a few.
God don't want me to talk about her.
There's a few, but we were introduced to a new junior housewife, if you will, in one of the scenes, and she stole the show for me. She stole the episode for me.
I know exactly who you talking about.
Yeah. But before we get into that, y'all, not to make this intro even longer, we need to address the fact that I skipped over mentioning Lisa's reading in last week's episode. That was a big point for me. I know that was a big point for my sis too, because that was the first time we really got a true glimpse into maybe some of the cracks and fractures in Lisa's marriage that she speaks so highly of any other time, in seasons prior. I don't know. Trouble might be in paradise. I'm looking at them awfully different. If you guys can, Terrence told her that he was picking up on something. There's some communication issues, or there's some disconnect in between her and John. And Lisa actually started to get emotional and say, well, we're just not on the same page. It's really hard for us to come back to really connecting, and we got a unseen little snippet of her and John actually talking about I think it was, is it Jack? Yeah, Jack is the older one. Mm-hmm. Apparently he wanted to come back home, and when he he was in Colombia, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. When he left Colombia, he wanted to come back and get his own apartment. He wasn't trying to move back into, Lisa and John's house. And Lisa was totally against it. She said, I don't think he should be allowed to move out. And John was like, well, I told him I didn't have a problem with that. I think that's totally fine. So that was an issue. And then I think they also showed us a unseen clip where Lisa was telling him that, what did she say? He needs to listen more, or I don't remember exactly what she said, but
to John? To John? Yeah. Yeah, she said something along the lines of that he needs to listen more. But we all know that she projects everything that she says, basically goes right back to her. So when she says somebody needs to listen more, she's really talking about herself. When she says Angie starts everything, she's talking about herself. When she's there's so many things that are coming up now that are basically routine for Lisa, and girl, ain't nobody scared of you, girl. And now that we see the cracks and crevices of not the cracks and the crevices, I'll just say the cracks. Since we see the cracks, what up, Kev? Since we see the cracks in your marriage, you do the same thing to your husband you do to other people, which is you speak, want everybody to be all ears, and then when they go to speak, you shut them down. You're about to walk away, and you don't have time now. Now time has run out. Now you know what? I'm busy. Girl, you're not ever that busy. So yeah, Lisa, go on, girl. I can't wait for the rest of the season to unfold. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of mad that she's already been on What's Happening Live already, because and she was with a bootlicker. The dude that she was sitting with, he just, everything she said, everything Lisa says is right. Everything. No, it's not.
She might be on there again, maybe.
I hope so.
Meredith was on there last night.
Yes.
Just say she didn't really say anything that jumped out to me that was of significance enough to write down. There's only one thing, and that was when I think it was it during a game? Andy asked her if she thinks that they live very different lives or whatever. What Lisa said, earlier in the season, Lisa was like, she just lives a very different life than them. It's just not the same at all. Meredith said that is actually kind of a true statement as it pertains to all them individually. And it's like, I kind of was trying to understand what she was saying. And it's like, I would believe her and say, okay, that's true, I guess. But in the vein of them having this alliance, them just not having this weird, allegiance to one another underneath it all. Because of that, that's just going to make me look at Meredith and say, yeah, you're just basing your answer in that moment off of whatever hidden agenda you and Lisa have. Because I feel like any other time, if it was Whitney saying that, or Angie saying that, or anybody else saying that, I feel like Meredith would have had something to say, and she would have been like, well, actually, that's not true. Because that was Lisa being very elitist in that moment when she said that. And Meredith, you know exactly what she was getting at when she said that, and you should have called it out. But whatever, I digress.
Okay, so then maybe I said it in my notes later on in the end of some stuff that I put birds of a feather fucking flock to them. Oh, thank God we went over the 10-minute mark. What a feisty. But like literally 2 birds of a goddamn feather. And I forgot that we do think that they are under some type of allegiance ever since they got old girl off Gunica. So right then is where they was like, you know what? We're never gonna let nobody in. We're never gonna. It's always gonna be us. It's always gonna be us. And now Heather's looking like, well, shit. I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna be always us. Because always us look like Meredith and Lisa again.
Anyway.
Yes.
Hey, Nita.
Thanks, sister. Hi, Nita.
And hey, Kev again. Hey, everybody who's coming in. Nola had asked if the son was grown. Speaking of Jack, yes, Jack is very grown enough to have left the house and gone on his mission for the past 2 years in a foreign country. You would think one would learn some type of, independence, would learn how to do things on their own from there, enough to where their parents would be like, yes, you should go and spread your wings and get your own place and understand what that freedom looks like. But no, Lisa has other wishes. She doesn't think that he should be allowed. Yes, allowed.
That means he's 20, going on 21, because if he left straight out of high school, that's pretty much you turn 18 in that year. You're 17 going on 18, or you're 18 by the time you graduate. Depending on what your birthday is. I was 17 when I graduated, and I turned 18 in October. I graduated in June, birthday in October. So what I say that to say, she what's going to happen if she tries to clank down on him, he's going to say, yeah, I want my own place, but I want it outside of Utah. So she better slow her roll. Yeah. Slow your roll, Mama Bear. Slow your roll. And again, let's be clear. If you want a different result than what you're getting, then you're going to have to stop talking to your husband the way you do, and you're going to have to communicate with him, and you guys are going to have to have a conversation, not you saying, I won't allow. That's not a conversation. That's you putting your foot down, and we're not doing that in no marriage. You don't put your foot down, especially if we're having a discussion about our son. Okay?
Yeah, that's wild. And I'm definitely gonna peel back those layers on that conversation when we hit that scene. Hey, Sweet Pea. But the episode, y'all, started off with oh, never mind. The episode started off with Heather and Angie actually at home. They were both making coffee in their respective homes, and then they jumped on FaceTime together, which was really funny. And jumped on FaceTime to talk about, all of what transpired at Whitney's event the day prior. And they check in on one another. Angie's asking, or I should say Heather is asking what all happened with her and Mary, and Angie said that she had sent Mary a message asking her to come over because at this point in time she's actually closer to Mary than she is Lisa. My how the tides have turned on that one. And it's a very important friendship to her, the one between her and Mary. And so she really does want to repair things. But Angie says, it wasn't just about her. She wasn't going at Lisa so hard just off of her own strength as much as it was also she was representing everybody in the group because Lisa's gone and gone at them all in that same vein. And Heather also says that if anybody's going to get any type of changes from Lisa, it would probably be them, because they all know her and they love her so much. And in her confessional, Heather even said that she believes that Lisa is able to admit fault because, I mean, she's a human. Hello. So we all are equipped with those parts. But Lisa, for some odd reason, just she never uses it though. And she also says that she was sad that Lisa left because she wasn't even there for Heather's big announcement, because y'all, we're getting closer to the cast trip. We love a good cast trip, and it actually seems like we might get a pretty decent one, because Heather, not only are they going on a trip, but she chartered her friend's private yacht down in Kanawan. I think
don't we need to messing up the name.
I think I'm saying it right.
You probably.
They
had two different places up there, and one was not near the other one, so we'll get to that too. But that's why I don't know. So that's why I can't, and I didn't write it down. So yeah,
that was really funny to me.
Me too.
But what did you have to say about this conversation between Lisa and Angie?
I'm glad that Heather went and checked on Angie. She needed it, because Angie, to me, was clearly drunk at the dang session. As all of them were to me. They all had wine, and they probably had a little finger food. So I not like they drunk like that, but I'm just saying Angie was given, I'm very tipsy and I don't care. That's why she couldn't calm herself down. So I'm just happy that Heather checked on her. I'm glad that Angie realized that Mary is somebody that she wants to keep that relationship, afloat, and that is very important to her, because it better be, because Mary don't play like that. So you better be right. You better keep it right. Keep it right, keep it tight, like with Mary, because she don't play about it, and she gonna let you know. We saw when she said, "I'm done with you." That finger. I'm done with you. I said, "Oh yeah, that's how I act when I get mad." I won't. I literally, you won't see it coming, because I've been so nice, and then when I get mad, it's like a snake. It's real quick, and then you be like, "Yeah, did I get bit? Yeah, you got bit. You sure did. You did. Damn, she got me. I did, and I didn't release all my venom. So be careful talking to me." But and then like I said, I'm glad she's trying to repair that, and of course, I'm happy that we're about to get our cast trip. That's the funnest times, because now they stuck,
especially on this franchise.
Yes, Lord, and Lord. Oh, but and it looks like the husband's gonna be there too.
Yeah,
because So I was like, do we get the husbands on the trip? Sometimes, because like we did that with Bronwyn's husband, and because it was their anniversary.
In like Housewives, golden era, that the husbands on other franchises, it was very much emphasized that there were like couples trips and stuff like that. We know, going back to the Real Housewives of Atlanta seasons ago, that's when we got some of our best moments. So
because they literally, the only person's not really, well, I don't know what Mary is, estranged from her husband, but no disrespect, I just don't know. We haven't found out.
No, we don't. Yeah, we've never seen him again.
Mary, if you don't come from
Mary, look at it as he wasn't fooled the show. Their marriage is not going to be fooled the show because of the venom and the backlash they got when season 1, episode 1, when the whole thing was introduced. So I can't be totally mad at that. So
no, I'm not at all, and I'm not going to be surprised if Todd backs out of it.
Well, there's a reason. It's not like Greg on the Real Housewives of Potomac or something like that, that just straight up just doesn't want to just be involved, or Shamia's husband just doesn't straight up want to be involved or whatever. There was actually something negative that came out of him being involved with the show and stuff. So can't argue that.
True facts. So you can go on and go to the next.
Yes.
scene.
And then Kev had also asked if we watched Wife Swap, which we did. We're gonna talk about that on Friday, so stay tuned. And then he also said, did you get
I didn't read it.
the gift he sent you on IG for your birthday? Because he said happy birthday.
Check it out. I just said, Kev, I just told Barb before we went on. I didn't even go on my IG yesterday to even go look, because I was like, I'm gonna go through a rabbit hole, and I didn't have the time yesterday. So just now I sent out a couple of texts through IG and was like, I couldn't even find the people that's usually right here. So I was like, oh snap. Okay, so I haven't, but I thank you, my love. I really appreciate it. I appreciate everyone that sent a happy birthday to me. It was I had a really beautiful birthday. My kids, they surprised me with a really beautiful entrance into coming down my stairs, and I said, look at y'all. So I'll be posting pictures. I just didn't have the time to, and I didn't go down the rabbit hole. I was really trying to do content yesterday. So forgive me, people. But thank you. I had an amazing birthday. It was amazing, and it was very quiet. My son made me a crab boil. He came over and made me a seafood boil, and it was delicious. I got a picture of that too. Lobster, crawfish, shrimp. I love snow crab, but I also like Alaskan crab, but we can't afford that right now. And he makes rice, and then the sauce that he makes it in with the onion, and yes, delicious. Thank you, son.
That sounds awesome. I wish I had a seafood boil right now, speaking of it, but I don't. So live vicariously through you. Yes. He also said, can you guess who you favor right now? No, but I know you will tell us. Very curious. Very curious. But going back to the episode though, y'all, Todd and Bronwyn, we get a one-on-one scene with them. They were down eating ice cream. She tells him that she doesn't like when he eats her.
Start over. Rewind. Say that again now, because you got I was like, I'm gonna fix my light. I'm right here. I'm just I just need to fix my light because the light is lighting. But go ahead. You was talking about cherries and eating. Go ahead.
She likes a good cherry on top of her ice cream sundae, and she doesn't like when he steals the cherry off of her sundae. Which he actually 2 seconds later did in this scene, and she was like, dude, I told you, like, seriously, like, you really gonna steal it after I told you how I feel about that? That's the best part. I save it for last. That was funny. That was cute. Hee hee ha ha.
Was it now? It wasn't. It was cute. It was funny. Ha ha ha. Okay,
I would have been like, really,
I wouldn't have been laughing at all. I would have
been like, seriously.
I would have been like, now you can get your thick ass up and go get me some more cherries. Matter of fact, go pay for me a cup of cherries. And I don't even like those cherries. I always give my cherries away. I probably, if it was the only thing to eat and I was hungry, I would probably eat them. I ate them before. They're just not my particular favorite type of cherry. So the mirror shine. But yeah, no, don't do that. Especially when I just told you, cute my ass. Don't touch my cherry. And it's like, give you permission. If you would have asked me, said, "Hey, you know what? Dang, I forgot to ask for a cherry." You asked me, so I can tell your ass no to get your ass up and go get you some cherries from behind me. You are in the damn ice cream parlor. Don't piss me off. And I'm not being petty like that, but it's that she just told you. It would be different if she didn't bring that whole story up and he ate it and you'd be like, you know what, babe? It really is a pet peeve of mine when you whoopty whoppity bop. But because she just told your stinking ass, why would you do that? You testing me? You testing, huh? Okay. Test me again. Get your ass up and go get my cherries. Because we gonna test each other on, because remember, we're doing stuff different. We're doing things different. You're supposed to be watching how you speak to me and all this other shit. Who said that? Cut the shit, girl. You better get it together, because Todd, you're not about to be none of my favorite people. You going on the other list, the one that you put Lisa on. You gonna be right over there with her. Okay, I'm sorry. Sometimes I rant. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Tell us how you really feel. Kev said that you look like Cheryl Miller, like the basketball player. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, I do. Oh, okay. That's Reggie Miller's sister. I think that's my girl. She was on Martin. If you don't know who she is, she was on Martin. And oh wait, was she on Martin? I take that back. Think about it. Let me think about all the girls, but I feel like he was. However, maybe it was Lisa Leslie. However, that's my girl. I don't mind that. That's my girl. We both got that long, slender face. We both light skinned. We both cute.
Cherries and fruit cocktails, absolute worst. Yeah, I could. Yeah.
Kev got the same taste buds as me. I always used to leave everything. My sister Mallory, she'd be like, "Give them to me," and then they put extra ones in my Shirley Temple. I'd be like, "That's cool for the flavor."
I love it.
Stick my straw in there and eat it. I'm crazy.
I love that. So, y'all, speaking of,
wait, let me put my wait, because are we done with Bronwyn scene? Hold on, because I didn't. You still talking about Bronwyn scene?
Yeah, I didn't mix.
You didn't go. You just went into the cherry thing, because that's on the next part of what I need to address. But go ahead.
So, and I actually sent you a picture of my face at this moment. I'm sorry. Like, I'm not trying to be funny. Like, I get how age and people's life and existence on Earth works, y'all. But I was just a little taken aback when Bronwyn was like, "Oh yeah, how was New York? You saw your parent, your mom and dad and stuff." He's like, "Yeah, they're good." I don't know.
Can I share the picture?
Please do, because this was my actual face when they said that, and it was like, I just don't imagine. I don't know. I guess I just imagine Todd as the oldest person in his family. Like, I don't think of him and think like older people that birthed him. Like, I just don't. I don't. I'm sorry. I
saw the picture. I didn't know what was going on.
I was just like trying to. 65, like, I get it. 65 is really not that old at all, but yeah.
I'm gonna tell you what.
I just wasn't expecting.
This is a compliment to my dad, and this is probably not going to be a compliment to Todd, but either way,
yes, I know what you're about to say.
He reminds me of my dad when when my dad gets serious. He cuts his eyes in a way. Oh, sorry, y'all. I gotta leave it off. He cuts his eyes a certain way, and he doesn't give you eye contact, because if he gives you eye contact, he probably you'll see how mad he gets, right? And so there was a couple of parts where I was like, dang, you remind me of my father. Now, my dad's birthday was Sunday that just passed. Yes, child. And he was giving my dad, I was like, dang, but my dad just turned 73 and he looked better than him. My dad is still a cutie pie.
I was waiting for that part. Yes.
So I'm not saying the look of him. I was saying the demeanor of him was like, why are you giving her the father disappointed look? I know you was.
That look is this.
Yeah, that is, whoa. When my dad gives me that look, I don't care if I just turned 53 day before yesterday. If my father gives me that look, I don't interrupt, because he got something he got to say. He got to get that off his chest, because we're not moving forward without him telling me why that look is on his face. So yeah, I don't like the dynamic of it. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
I couldn't agree more. Speaking of that dynamic, Bronwyn, she talks about how at Whitney's party, he would have been so proud of her because she didn't raise her voice not one time. And she even goes on to say how, it wasn't even her, it was actually Lisa, or it wasn't even her and Lisa getting into it. it was actually Lisa and Angie that got crazy instead. So her and Lisa were actually fine, which is just so probably music. I'm not gonna say music to his ears, but was probably something that he didn't think that she'd say, because we know what he witnessed last time. Them two got together and stuff. We know at the end of this scene and at the end of this episode how Todd really feels about Lisa. So nonetheless, she also brought up how she was having like a little bit of a dilemma where she's like, okay, did I actually forgive her too quickly? And make amends. And in her confessional, she says that, when it comes down to Todd, he knows her better than most people. So she doesn't quite understand why he doesn't understand why she wants to be friends and, repair things with this group, with these ladies. And, she was really excited to tell him how Whitney also brought Terrence and stuff. And as she's trying to tell him, he, doesn't believe it. He thinks it's just a whole bunch of foolishness and craziness.
Malarkey.
Literally, that's probably another synonym that he wanted to use, knowing him. And he says that it's what Terrence said, it's probably a 50-50 guess. It's probably a long shot. So she starts to break down because she's obviously like really excited. And I don't know about y'all, but I know how it feels when you're really excited to tell somebody something that you care about that person, you're excited to share something with the person, and they seem less than thrilled. That's why I have this picture that I brought up right here, because this is literally how this man was looking at her. And but in the same breath, she's like, I know you don't really care about the details, but then proceeds to still try to tell him the details. And she also mentioned, of course, how Terrence told her that she needs to move past things with her mother and everything. That's right before he said the whole 50-50 thing. Mm-hmm. And yeah, she just gets emotional and starts to cry a little bit. And she's like, we're in the process of what? She's in the process of getting to know. Oh, she doesn't want to. She's getting to a point where she doesn't want to have to get this upset for him to, I don't know, get a clue. But right now they're still going through that process. They haven't quite mastered that yet. This is why we're seeing what we're seeing right there. He does say sorry in the end, but again, she did have to throw on the waterworks for a hot second and show him that she was visibly upset in order for him to realize, like, hey, maybe I should act, I don't know, just a little bit interested in what my wife has to say, since we're on the show, since this all comes with it.
It's called fake it till you damn make it, boy. And boy is a white racist word, but we're not gonna call it. I'll be watching Good Times too much. Sorry, y'all. Anyway, a couple of things that I wanted to point out that Bronwyn did when she was like, you know how I get. She's talking to Todd, and he's him with the, how excited I get to see where it goes with Lisa.
Mm-hmm.
What? Don't tell your husband you excited to talk to this broad. Don't do that. He loathes her.
Exactly.
That's stupidity. Like, he can't stand her. Don't tell him nothing about it. If y'all get along or don't get along, let him be the one to come ask you about it. Hey, you ain't talked about Lisa in a minute. Y'all must be fighting. No, we're actually getting along. Oh, okay, well, shit. Okay. Don't give up no information. Shut up talking to him about it, because he doesn't care about a lot of things, but he literally don't want to hear that crap. I also didn't like the way Todd responded to the psychic being brought up. Again, when you said the 50-50 chance thing, I feel like this shows him his thing where he doesn't support her like I want him to. It's not my wife. He's not my husband. But it shows, like, instead of you saying, like, I don't believe really in the psychic and what they said, but yeah, there's a 50-50 chance. He should have told her something more like, I don't know. There is always a 50-50 chance. But from my perspective as your husband, I think you could leave your mom where she's at and just accept the fact that she's If she is your biggest cheerleader, this is the way she shows it. Let it be that. Or if she doesn't start respecting you in your household, our household, then she's gonna have to go, and that's gonna just be the end of it. But either way, show some kind of. This is the thing that we're trying to get you to do, is show that you care about anything that comes with Bronwyn. And this is why the mother feels basically the way she feels, like, well, without Todd, you wouldn't have made it. And without Todd, it wouldn't have been a wooty wop. Like, girl, shut up. Shut up.
Yeah, because going fast forwarding a little bit, because in that if we're using that same logic, reverse the roles. If she came to him and was like, and not to get too ahead, but obviously if you guys watch the episode, these allegations have come forward and stuff like that about her, and now it's making him, his business, and him look bad or whatever.
A little blemish.
What if she came up to him and was like, yeah, I know me being caught up in this stuff right now reflects badly on you right now, but I don't really give a fuck. Then it will be a problem. So why doesn't he pay her that same respect in these moments? And I'm totally down with you when you say, Bronwyn, why do you even get him involved? Why do you even say anything about anything to him? Totally understand that. And if I was her, that's the approach. That's literally what I would do. But because she clearly wants to be with her husband, she not looking at marriage.
She wants this because she clearly kept asking.
Yes.
You're not gonna pat me on my back. You're not gonna give me my treat. You're not, girl. I can't have you doing that, because that looks weak, and that's why he treats you the way he treats you. I'm gonna need her to kind of like woman up a little bit more, like get out of that playful clothes shit that she does, them costumes she does, like, and that's cute and everything. But looky here, this is an older man. That's not catching his attention, because if it was caught, you wouldn't have to on him. You wouldn't have to do that. So let's stop doing that. And put your big girl panties on and your big drawers, your big girl panties, your big girl pants, put them all on and check your mother. And I don't mean in the most respectful way, but let her know, hey, Mom, love ya, but you're not going to talk to me in this household. This household belongs to me and my husband, and we're not going for that no more. Well, I can get out. Yes, you can. You can. Okay. I'm still gonna be your daughter when you leave, though. Guess what? I'm gonna still be your fucking daughter when you leave. So we can check all that. We can do that, right? I think Todd will respect her more. I think he doesn't respect his wife, and he treats her like Gwen, because he looks at her like the eyeshadow, the colorfulness, the household, the way they collect things. But he's a part of it too with his goddamn mug collection. So he really, like literally, you pot, me kettle. And that's why it's like, yo, it works to some degree, but I'm gonna need him to come down a little bit. I'm gonna need her to raise up a little bit.
Yeah. So again, for me, it's like, if you want to be in this marriage, if you clearly know who he is and what all that comes with and what all that entails. So again, I would leave him out of the fine details of stuff. And then on the reverse side of that too, when it comes to the group and everything, if you say you want to be a part of this and stuff like that, you just have to stick to your decisions in life. And that trickles down to every relationship. If you're going to stay in his marriage and stuff like that, you know that he don't really care about all these details. So that's just what it's going to be. And then also in the group, you know that, hey, I want to be involved with this social circle and stuff like that. I know it can get messy sometimes. These are the negatives that come with it. Well, I still want to be involved. So you have to also stand in it when shit gets hot. You just have to, and also with your mother, you have to, if you want to have her around, you want to be having her in your house and stuff like that, then you also have to take the negative with the positive when it comes to her too. And I'm not just saying be a doormat. I'm not saying don't have boundaries or anything like that. All I'm saying is you can't go into situations seeing it for what it is and be surprised when it trickles down the way that you saw from the outside before you walk through the threshold. I think that would save her a lot of disappointment in life and disappointment in some of these interpersonal relationships that she has. And all of it is, and I say all that because it's all goes back to the same thing, which is you need validation. You need to step away from being a people pleaser, all these things, and maybe you won't find yourself so upset all the time about certain stuff. Just take things for what it is. See people for who they are and either mess with it or don't.
Yeah, because all that trying to please everybody, or I just don't, I don't like for people not to like me. Okay, girl, everybody ain't gonna like you. You're not everybody's type. You're not.
What would you tell Gwen if this was her? Like, ooh, just use that example, I feel like, to kind of guide you through some of these dilemmas and stuff. Like, what would you tell your daughter? Would you tell her, just just quickly make up with people that say that you suck out dick. Yeah, quickly, your mom freaking tell you ain't shit and smile on her face. Like just break this down like how you would if you were talking to Gwen and really hear yourself when you say these words, because it sounds crazy as hell when you break it down like that. I feel
good analogy. I like that.
But I don't know. That's all I had to say about this scene. Moving along, y'all. Next up, Jesus. We see Heather and Lisa, right? Yeah. No, we go to Angie's house. And she's getting ready for Mary to come by so they can have this one-on-one talk, y'all. And when Mary pulls up right off the bat, she comes in complaining. And did you just think that was just classic Mary? Did you have a problem with that? I did think it was classic Mary, but at the same time, I was like, well, Mary, like, you're kind of coming into somebody else's home, being a little like it was borderline teetering on disrespectful. I feel like just a touch, and I feel like I want Mary to. She needs to find the rhythm there, the balance. I feel like because right now she can be looked at as somebody who is hard to be friends with and hard to stay on good terms with, because it's always like, if you're not, it's her way or the highway. And because this friendship is one that is supposed to stem further than this show, I'm going to hold her to real life friendship principles. And in real life friendships, you can't act like that. So
I didn't like. Yeah, to me, that set the tone. I think she was bullying Angie. She walked in there trying to bully Angie in her own home. Are you crazy, Mary? I don't care if you are black. You don't go in nobody's house bullying. Don't pull a black card on her. We know we already come in like. I wish on the wish factor. We seen Cedric the Entertainer. We always know. I wish she would come. I wish she comes. I wish she would come. But
if you're coming over the door for me, because usually I have to let myself in. Excuse me, what? Like,
it wasn't no problem when you was letting yourself in, or if that was the case, like you tell me on those times when I didn't let you in, I thought we were sisters, and my sister don't have to knock on the door if the door is open. Like literally, I don't care whichever sister I go to house, I'm going to go try the door first before. I don't have keys to all their houses, but I'm going to try the door. I'm going to walk in if I want to. It's my sister. Like, what you talking? So I didn't like the way Mary came in. Don't come in hot like that, because if you don't do that, then I feel like then you could have just made a phone call. You didn't need to come over, because you can be stank on the phone. Don't come in my house with the stank.
Because that same tone pretty much was carried through the entire conversation almost until the end. And I say that because obviously Angie, she was trying to make things nice and stuff like that. She had a little, some hors d'oeuvres and stuff like that for them. And Mary's like, basically like, she didn't come for all that. She just came talk. And it's just like, okay, like a lot. You're doing a lot. You're doing a lot, Mary. And even with but I will say, and don't call me a hypocrite, y'all, because in that same breath, I did let out just this much of a chuckle, only at the one part where she was like about the drink, because Angie couldn't find the sugar-free version. She's like, oh, like, don't even drink that for yourself. Like that little bit just made me laugh, like real quick.
But you know what that means? You know what that means? She cares. She cares. Yeah. And she would have just told, if it was Lisa or somebody that she didn't care about, she would have told him, girl, drink that for yourself. I'm not gonna have none. I'll pass, and never tell her why she didn't drink it or how many cups of sugar, grams of sugar it was in there. She would just be like, no thanks, and let it be.
And it's like, I know she cares. I think a lot of us can say we know she cares. So it's like, when I say all this, I'm saying it in her best interest. I'm saying it because it's like, we know that you care. We know that this is a friendship you're not trying to give up or whatever. So I'm just, because maybe no one's taught you before, here is what I know about being a good friend. So please put this in your arsenal and use it going forward. Like we want the best for you, Mary. So please don't, if you ever come across this, don't take offense to it. Just please put it in your friendship bag and proceed better with, because nobody's going to want to deal with that forever. Like it's going to get old eventually. Even a person that you love, like with all of your heart, it's going to get old eventually. So words to the wise. Nonetheless, they finally get into the conversation, and for Mary, or Angie does start off by saying sorry, and that she notices that Mary was just trying to calm things down. And it's just a hard thing for her when she's feeling bullied. Like she doesn't know how to respond to that when she's feeling bullied. It's like, a bully on a playground. And before she could really go on, Mary's like, yeah, and now you're the one becoming the bully. Like, girl. And Mary's like, you get so angry, you get so beside yourself to the point, like, I can't even calm you down. You can't even focus. We're supposed to be in sisterhood. It's not really given a sisterhood. If I can't, calm you down. It's like, it's not that important. Like, this stuff is not that important. Like, do I even exist to you? Like, you're supposed to be my sister. Right now, you're not acting like that. And Angie's like, what do you mean I am a sister? She's like, well, you're not. You better go find another one. It was a lot. And then, but the real, like, I don't want to say catalyst as much as what was at the heart of Mary's concern, what was like her chief gripe deep down inside about it, was when Angie supposedly made Mary's, apparently Mary was having some gassy issues. Maybe she ate something that she shouldn't have, whatever. She was having a bit of flatulence.
That's probably McDonald's. Go ahead.
It probably was McDonald's, and didn't really sit too well with her. And she was letting him rip in there, apparently, so much so that we got the flashbacks, and Angie was kind of making light of it. She was poking fun a little bit at Mary passing gas here and there during their last meetup. And Angie and Mary just didn't take too kindly to that. In the end, though, some good things were said after that was emphasized enough to where Mary, she did get really vulnerable and talk about how, a friendship like this really only comes into play for her every like 20 years or so. Like Angie is seriously somebody that she's gonna need to have in her life for forever and ever and ever. So with her, she loves hard, she pedestalizes the person. And so when she feels like she's not receiving, that's not being reciprocated, she turns and, never looks at the rear view again. And luckily, though, Angie does reassure her. She shares in that same sentiment, and they are able to hug it out in the end. But for me, I just like, of all things, Mary, really, I wouldn't be able to talk to her if that's what she brought up. And I mean, we all do it, y'all. We're all human beings. That's a normal bodily function. Some of us more than others. Um, but what? Like, what is happening? I was like, girl, this is not really what you're about to say right now. Like, we spent a lot of time on it too. I was like, oh my goodness, what is happening?
Mary always goes out of her way to go deep on bullshit.
That's funny.
It like literally to me, just like if you didn't bring it up, we wouldn't be discussing it. We wouldn't have it on film. They would be trying to really right, but the dog farted. The dog was like, "Wait, how I get in this? Why am I here?" And dogs do fart. I had my son, and my God, he just every time, just how'd I get in this? Look, it's so freaking cute. But it just, I don't know. Mary throws up the weirdest things, just the things you wouldn't like. Literally, me and Mary, I told y'all we are a day apart, 1 day apart, right? In birthdays. Some things I think I get embarrassed on. I get secondhand embarrassment and I get embarrassed on stuff, even if it happens to me. So I don't share a lot of stuff, not with like my friends, if it's embarrassing to me. Now, if you're there, I'm going to tell you. But if you ain't there, I'm not about to go on my way to call you about this embarrassing thing that happened to me. That's just not how I do. That's not my thing. Now, my kids, I'll tell them because they're here.
Yeah.
Something embarrassing happened here. Usually the embarrassing things happen at your home. But as far as like, I don't know, and especially with a camera in my face, you think I'm about to be sitting up here with the camera, like, so yeah, y'all, anything just nasty, anything. Like, no, I'm just not. I just feel like Mary I don't know if she does it to make us all be. I don't think she does though, because her eyes get big and she really be meaning what she say.
I don't really, and it's not because I think I'm perfect, y'all. I don't really even be getting embarrassed about stuff, like for real, a lot of stuff, especially this. Like, that's the thing. Like, if I'm going to bring it up in this type of setting, it's going to be because I'm not embarrassed and it's not going to be a big deal. Like, especially for me. Like,
not that, but like if I slip and fall and hurt myself, whoever's there gonna hear it. But I'm not about to go out my way unless
that's the weird like stigma and issue that just in general people have about people that content creators and stuff like that. It's always like that wow, like, so you're gonna come up here crying, talking about this man done left you and stole your car and did all these like things and stuff like that, and this is the first thing you think is to come online and tell us this whole thing. Like, we wouldn't even know this happened if you didn't tell us this. Like, that's always that issue I feel like that we're having in 2025 of why people come on camera and share things and then get upset.
When you have an opinion about it?
Yeah. We wouldn't know this embarrassing thing happened if you never came and told us. You didn't have to do that. But
right.
They're able to hug it out. I don't know. I feel like this is not going to be the only issue they have during this season though, because we have heard multiple times that like they did have like an issue during the season and stuff like that they were working through and stuff. So either it's this and they're still going to need to repair slowly, or something else is bound to happen. But
well, if Angie keeps acting the way she's acting, Mary already told her, like, girl, you're being the bully now. You're turning into the bully. So when me as a Libra, if I tell you something and it's bothering me and you do it again, okay, I'm gonna let you do it again. No, I'm gonna let you have it one more time, because it's always 3. Because you might not do it to me, you might do it to somebody else, but it's still gonna affect me because you did it to somebody else. If you do it to me 2 times, you're right. 2, if it's me, you do it to me 2 times. If you do it to somebody else, I'm gonna be like, see, that was the behavior I was talking about. So now I'm gonna check you again, and I'm gonna say, look, do that again, bro. And I'm gonna it's not going to be a conversation. I'm not going to tell you again. Okay. And then you do it again. Then I'm like, yeah, you're stuck in your ways. This is how you're going to be. I don't really have hello and goodbye.
Way too old. Way too old.
Yeah, so yeah, like literally, that's how she should be handling Angie. So I can see getting back to your point that Angie might mess up and go off the deep end because she has so much pent up with Lisa and trying to stay in this fight, if you will. And it's like, don't stay in the fight. You already beat if you already know how she is, you already beaten her.
For real.
Come on now.
No, I'm glad to see them make up or whatever, but like, please do not on both sides. Like, don't let this keep being a constant thing between y'all. Like, it's not that serious, and especially they need to get that. And I hate to use them as an example, based on anything other than just the friendship dynamic itself is the only thing to be desired, I would say, when it comes to housewives friendships. And I say all that to say they need to take a book out or a page out of the Robin and Giselle book, because y'all know if there's just one redeeming thing to say about either of those ladies, it's the fact that that's an unwavering friendship between them two. Them
two hoes is loyal, is what you saying.
That Mary and Angie, y'all need to get that down packed. If y'all watch Miami, y'all know. Usually, I would also say like Alexia and Marisol from there. There's certain friendships on Housewives that stood the test of time, and that's what I want to see Mary and Angie develop and get down packed, since they both have been vocal about wanting to go the distance with their friendship. So yeah, they're gonna have to get that down packed. Otherwise, they're gonna keep happening every single season, because certain things are gonna come up to continue to test them.
Agreed.
Okay, so
yes, Lord, get to it.
Next up is Britani, y'all. We get Britani and as I was saying earlier, the newly introduced friend of daughter. We actually meet in this scene. We meet Olivia. Britani's 19-year-old. Her and Britani sit down. They sit down. This is the second go of them sitting down, because we quickly find out once they do sit down that the last time they attempted to do this, it was actually in between a 30-minute break in between jobs for Olivia. She came over to her mother's house, and before she knew it, Jared was there also, and they proceeded to make out in front of her, instead of her spending that quality time with her mother. And I actually stepped off too quick when I said that, because even before that, just if you watch the scene, y'all saw how Britani had to even go and ask permission to hug her daughter, which by all means, yes, we all deserve we all deserve the right to tell somebody whether or not like we want to be touched or whatever. Like, no one's just entitled to anybody's body, but you would think in a healthy mother-daughter, parental-child relationship, usually that's just an automatic thing. If there's no permissions being asked, my mom doesn't come over here and be like, "Oh, can I hug you?" Like, but that just speaks to how fractured this mother-daughter relationship is. And when they sit down, like I said, Britani, she claims that when she got a divorce, she just was so dead set on creating this perfect family dynamic, so much so that she got remarried real fast to her second husband, which is something that she clearly shouldn't have done, because before she knew it, it had the opposite effect. and then there was like this tug of war she had between being a wife and a mother, and then that was like under the guise of, you know, if she showed up as a perfect wife, then, you know, that'll of course translate to her being a great mother. But no, that didn't happen, because then before she knew it, the girls moved in with her dad, and now they're living in a world where Olivia's like, you know, she's over it, because which was actually a shock to me, she's seen her mother be a great mother before her parents got divorced or whatever, or she started putting men before them. She actually was a very doting mother that would show up to all the recitals and the soccer games and all the things. Like, she was there. And then it was just like this switch flipped, and then she started being the worst mother possible. And that's obviously really heartbreaking and upsetting, because just think about the fact that as a young girl now, because we have such a strained relationship during these pivotal moments in a young adolescent's life, I'm now having conversations about my period to my dad. Like, I can't even come to you with it because you are such a piss poor mother. Like, it's just bad all the way around. And, you know, she's like, she being Britani is just like, you know, I don't even know. It's just like, I don't even know how to fix it, you know, at this point. And it was really annoying for me to watch, because at one point it almost seems like Britani was, I don't know if you want to even call it playing a victim, but she even tried to kind of like justify her actions almost. And Olivia's like, no, like, you, so that's our fault. You're not about to put that on us. Like you're the parent. Like, girl, come on. And it's just like, if that's the case, why do you continue to prioritize men over me? Olivia flat out asked her mother that. And Britani's just still I don't even know to find my way back. And it's just so messed up. And I'm just like, I don't know why I'm fucked up, but I'm fucked up. Oh, that was so bad. So what do you say? Being a mother of two daughters out of 5, how do you feel?
Britani actually should go talk to somebody and go fix herself before she's available for her daughter, because she's in shambles. Like, she's literally in shambles. She keeps saying she doesn't know how to fix it. And so I have to take her at face value, and I'm looking right at the fact she can't. She doesn't have the wherewithal to even have a conversation with her daughter. The fact that she had to show her daughter about being 4 and the story that was behind that, and that her daughter didn't remember that. And it's okay. She was 4, no biggie, but she was so proud in that moment. And, you know, she was just like, you don't remember that? It's just like, girl.
That's your go-to example. That just shows, like,
at least pull out your the latest one, like your latest one that was amazing that she may remember, but she just doesn't have it. So I really wish she would go get herself fixed, and then and tell her daughter, like, look, I'm swearing off men, and I'm about to go talk to somebody. I'm gonna treat this like an alcohol or a drug addiction. I'm a man. I have a man addiction, and so I'm gonna go get myself fixed, and you will be my next priority. After, shut up.
It's not funny. It's true, but like, it's
just so you know, and then let her know that you're gonna be next on my priority list. But right now, I gotta go fix me. I can't even be a good mother to you. I'm so sorry. And how many times she says sorry? 5 in that little bit of conversation that we got. 5 times she said she was sorry. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm tired of your sorry. I was watching with my son. He had just happened to sit down. We were waiting on our food. And this is my youngest son. And he was just like, she sure don't look like she's sorry. She doesn't sound sorry. So I realized that's out of my 15-year-old mouth. I said,
she's more upset and more passionate about stuff that goes on between her and Jared than even with her daughter in this. Like, it's a disconnect.
That she also has resting bitch face. Just realize that. So when she's talking, when she's serious or anything, even when she looks at her daughter, she even tilts her face. I said, the bitch got resting bitch face. Okay, so now I know. So even when she smiles, just wait a minute. That's like, because if y'all recall, remember when Angie said, I'm even starting to like Britani, and she was like, her face was confused, but it still looked the same face. It was still like, it was a smile like, but it was still like confusion. So it was like Britani just has the same face, and so it's hard to read. That's basically how I feel about it. It's hard to read her face, and then I'm not her daughter. And you're looking directly in your daughter's face. It's just like, yikes! I don't know if her daughter is ever gonna think that she is believable, because it doesn't give from the heart, like in on the face. Like I think it should. It just doesn't. Her daughter is very wise. The dad did a great job when he came to her. What did I put? I'm sorry. Yeah, okay. I'd say that she said it 5 times. Um, I said I think that the daughter thought it was kind of dismissive. Her sorry kind of fell on deaf ears. It was just like, girl, you sorry, you still sorry. And another thing is that it made me irritated that Britani. Now she didn't say this to her kid. I think she said this in the confessional, or I don't know if she was talking to somebody, but I know she didn't say this for her kid, which thankfully she didn't. But when she said that, the psychic, that told her about getting, with your youngest and yada yada yada, and I'm like,
you need a psychic to tell you.
You did wait. You needed him to validate that. My God, today. No.
Because clearly, based upon how like you said, she's very intelligent, very wise, obviously very emotionally mature, emotionally intelligent, all the things we gathered just from this one scene. Clearly, that tells me she's very capable of conveying how she feels. Easy. And then that's also multiplied. I'm going to assume her sister shares in that sentiment, because she definitely spoke for the we, or she said like that's not us or whatever. So clearly, I would say the older sister probably is coming from the same angle. So
I'm wondering.
You've been told 2 different ways. Like you've been told. So now that's 2 different, even like 2 different people communicating it to you. And you still haven't been able to grasp like what exactly is wrong here. Multiple people are telling you this. Like, what is going on with you, Britani? And no, I'm glad you brought that up, because that's what I was thinking too. Is like, there's just so many red flags here, and because this is, I don't want to make this about Jared, but a light bulb also went off in my head too, where I feel like something we've overlooked and failed to bring up is, what the fuck type of man is he also? Because why the fuck is he even like, I'm questioning him too, because it would be the same way if roles were reversed.
Right.
She's a deadbeat. How are you even attracted to somebody who don't do what the fuck that they're supposed to do it for their kids? And the only answer I can think of is because then you're also a deadbeat ass fucking father, then probably. Because if I knew, I'm dating this person or whatever, and even if it was healthy or whatever, even if like take all of the trauma off the table, like even if I get an inkling that this is causing some type of stress on their relationship, their child or whatever, hey, I understand it. I respect it. This is probably not a good time for us to pursue this. Do what you need to do as a parent, and I'm good. Like, bye, whatever. Like, it is what it is. Like, why is that not being said or whatever?
Because you're right. He's got to be the same daddy. He's the same type of father. He's probably a deadbeat. And the fact that they blamed their kids on why they broke up, broke the engagement off, is like, yeah, because they probably told y'all both ain't shit parents, and so y'all like, oh well, I guess since they're telling us we ain't shit, I guess we should get married.
Yeah.
And the other thing, if the psychic didn't tell you Britani, brainless, would you have went and would you have seeked your daughter out?
Like that's the bottom line of it, because that is really like she honestly has to answer that question. That's why I'm so glad Olivia said that. Like she has to get down to because the psychology behind it is, yes, what in her mind allows her to go through the length she goes to put these men before her child. Like what in her mind tells her that's okay to do or whatever. That's what she has to figure out in order to get forward. Because if she doesn't, it's going to keep happening. Like it's going to keep happening. I mean, ultimately, do I think that there's a fix for it at all? No. Because I mean, that might be just my own biases, y'all. And I'm mature enough to recognize that about myself. Like, you know, I mean, once you're, it's really hard for me to be very forgiving, even though I understand this is all our first time, our first walk, you know, in the park with this whole life thing. I get it, but it's really hard for me to forgive people, parents, in this type of situation when, like, I just, yeah, I don't know why that would even be a lesson that needed to be learned. Like, how is that not automatic in your mind, Britani? This is literally biologically, like I'm biologically connected. You inside me, like this, we're here. Like, how is that not?
And they had a relationship before. It
And
would
you
be
just
different if there was that you were like that from birth, or you were like that when she was so small and she doesn't remember when you was at her little, when I was 5 and the recital, girl, you was around all the way until she was 12. And then you decided to take a man, and the fact that you would make out in front of this man and she had to tell you that, girl, where is your brain, scarecrow? You're like, you are like, I almost feel like Whitney when she grabbed her and was like, no, I'm trying to really tell you this. Yeah. Like, I don't want anyone to tell her to shake it because the brain gonna loosen up a little bit. And like, maybe the frontal lobe didn't develop, and maybe she didn't hit 25 because the front lobe is not doing what it's supposed to do. It's not doing. And then, sister, I think, I'm not sure how you wrote your notes, but on my notes, I had Lisa and John next. But you might have, I don't know. That's but
did I delete that? And Lisa, Meredith.
Because that's what Meredith and Lisa come up. I mean, wait, hold on, let me look at my notes real quick. Oh, yeah, because I said I feel bad for Lisa. Lisa started Angie.
No, for whatever reason.
Yeah, I was like, why would she skip over that?
For whatever reason, I have Lisa and John like second or third. I have them after Bronwyn and Todd.
Okay, no biggie. As long as because we missed something that I don't want to miss.
I would have been calling you pissed. Yeah, I guess we'll leave it at that, y'all.
Yes.
Olivia, she got a good check off of this episode because she had a confessional and everything. I was like, okay, Olivia, get your mother together on our screens. Yes, we love to see it. And speaking of daughters, hey,
Nanny Cakes. Hey, Cakes.
See, this is because you guys have a healthy mother-daughter relationship. See, you could learn a thing or two, Britani. Just saying.
And my daughter's about to be 21. She's 20. She'll be 21 next.
You said it. What's silly?
Because it was silly.
The scene between Lisa and John.
Could have been. She could have been.
But nonetheless, we got to cover it because this is actually where we see a little bit more in between we see a little bit more between John and Lisa and what maybe, I mean, I don't want to call Trouble in Paradise officially, but it's not looking as stable as she's made it in the past, y'all. And I say that because in this scene, they're sitting down at home and she's telling him how they're supposed to be going to Kastanevas, like we said earlier, y'all, which is an island. It's one of the islands that makes up St. Vincent's, if I'm not mistaken. but Lisa was so sure that it was next to the Galapagos Islands. But shout outs to Bravo for giving us this very visual proof that is absolutely nowhere near the Galapagos Islands. Yeah. I'm probably closer to Galapagos Islands than they were in Candelon, because but nonetheless, y'all, they're sitting down and she's super excited and everything. She's going on the girls trip. You know, it's gonna only be for 3 days though. She's used to going for 7 to 10, but this will do. This will suffice. Hand me my pina colada. She also tells John.
And why you don't have more pictures and better pictures of you in a yacht on the yacht, lady, at the whole Billboard Awards that you had going on, the billboards, the Billboard Award you had on. You had a Billboard Award going on, and your ass had the picture that we could barely fucking see your ass on, girl. Sit your ass down.
Questionable behavior, very, very questionable. He tells John about what Terrence said, and you know how he brought up how they're having communication issues right now. And John, he makes a face. Where is it? He's sitting on the stairs. He's literally just like sitting there this whole time, just literally. And he asks her, like, you know, how she feels about it or whatever. And even in her confessional, she was saying how there wasn't one specific catalyst. This has just been something they've been having issues with since day one, that the lines are blurred when it comes to the marriage, the business, the family. She's the one that manages the entire household, and it can get a lot. It can get to be a lot on one person, so much so that she even has to go sit in her car sometimes and just like cry to her dad and tell him how exhausted she is because she can't, you know, cry to John about it. And he says that they aren't on the same page, or he says they are on the same page because he thinks that Lisa doesn't even want to hear what he has to say, because according to her, she's always right in her head. She does acknowledge that a few days ago he expressed that he couldn't even, or that she he brought up the fact that he'd like for her to listen to him, to show him that she at least sees that he matters and what he says matters. And she says that there could be some truth to that, but she doesn't feel like it's just on her. Like, she doesn't feel like she's the only like one involved in that dynamic. For her, she wants to be treated like she's glass and like she's fragile and like she's, you know, she could be shattered. And that's just not how he's been treating her. She's like, you know, we've been together for a very long time and everything's not perfect. And he's like, no, you know, everything you do is perfect. It was passive aggressive. For me, I'll just say that this moment between them is really what provided me the visual proof that that tells us, like, hey, Lisa and John, it's not all what it might seem. There might be some smoke and mirrors going on here just a little bit. And I know I brought this up in our recaps prior, where it's like, okay, maybe instead of him just being this yes man, being a lapdog for her or whatever, it was more so him just being, I guess, for lack of better words, checked out and just kind of just like over it. Because like he said, I mean, you're just gonna be right anyway. It's just gonna be your way or the highway anyway. So why should I even, you know, try? Why should I even care? Like, whatever. I'm just over it. You know, when you're just like in a situation where you're not even getting upset about it anymore because it's just that, you're just that over it. And I'm not even just talking about relationships, y'all. It just anything in life. Have you ever been over something so bad to where it doesn't even raise your blood pressure? Like, you don't even react to it like that because it's so far removed from your mind at this point. I think that's where John is, and I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not trying to go and put 20 on 10 here, y'all, but I wouldn't be surprised if this is not going to be the last that we hear of this. Like, this is not going to be something that is just an easy one day fix and stuff like that. I definitely feel like there's a big issue here that is going to like people really do break up over this type of thing. If it's happening how I'm seeing it in my mind, yikes. Like,
agreed. You want to pull this comment up before I give my
Can you explain what that means as far as the glass part? She was just using that, and I've actually used that in not this exact analogy, but I guess what she was trying to paint with that was saying that she wants to be handled delicately. She wants him to like a glass light bulb. You wouldn't just carelessly handle a glass light bulb or something like that. You're going to be gentle with it. You're going to be delicate with it. You're going to be kind to it. You're going to treat it with care and with kid gloves, because it's very breakable. It's fragile. It's not something that's indestructible that you could just toss around and treat any type of way. I want you to yes, just hold me gently, if that makes sense.
And does. So my commentary on this scene is the way Lisa cut John off when she told him that she talked to the psychic, right? It irritated me because I feel like if she didn't cut him off, he would have been able to get something off his chest. I feel like she cuts him off because she really doesn't want to know what he really feels, or she doesn't want to be put in her place. So he's sitting there walking on eggshells because he knows that if she starts cutting him off, he's like, oh, you know what? She's in that mood. She doesn't want to hear what I got to say. So I'm going to back off of it. So like I said, she irritated me because I really would have loved to hear what he was about to say. Because she literally was like, yeah, he brought up our relationship, and I don't know the exact words, but that it's fractured or whatever, and he was about to say, oh, so what did he pick up on, and and then she just cut him off. Like, she didn't want to talk about what the issue he would have been specifically talking about. Maybe it was because of the cameras. We won't know because she didn't speak on it. So I didn't like that. And I want her to let him talk uninterruptedly. Like, shut the fuck up. But another thing I put, but in true Lisa fashion, she asked a question to him, and then she answered him with a question. And or he asked her question, and then she answered it with a question. So I was like, that's deflecting. I don't like that shit either. Don't answer, because now I'm gonna have to ask you the question again, and now I'm gonna have to have a little annoyance in my voice, and I don't feel like being annoyed. And I feel like you're doing that on purpose. Right, because she's so tough. And so, she puts up this armor like, she the baddest bitch. But she turns around and says, John, I want you to treat me so I'm a kitten, and I need you to pay attention, that I need you to comfort me. That would be cool if it was reciprocated, if you were listening to his gripes, or if you were listening to the things that he might want you to do. He might want his back rubbed. I bet you're not rubbing his back, because you have so many things to do. You are rubbing your shoulders and your elbows with Brad and or the people that she was named. I can't even think right now. It's pissing me off. But she's everything is so much bigger than what it is. And then when John looks at her like, yeah, you're kind of milking the bigness, and you're kind of ignoring me, and I'm getting put to the back burner. And John looks good. That boy ain't pumping iron for no reason. Let's be clear.
Honestly, Lisa has a glass cannon, real talk, but she shatters when she throws something out. Well, yeah, that's the thing. Is like, it's kind of like she uses that analogy, and it's just kind of like, that's a double-edged sword, though. At the same time, Lisa, because you definitely are glass, because you when you feel like somebody's coming at you hard and fast, so to speak, you cut them. You know, you're going for blood. So that kind of says to me also that maybe you need to be trying to change your form up too, and be something a little bit softer too, maybe a softer landing spot, so to speak, because maybe, yeah, have you ever tried to hug a shard of glass before?
Oh.
Like that's not very comfortable either. So I think that's a little bit of what you're saying too. It's like, yes, you also need to do the same thing that you're saying too, even in this moment, because even in this moment, you're not gonna letting him speak, and he's like literally just listen. Like, I think that's not even respond or anything like that. It's like you're so busy trying to profess how you're the victim here. You're literally having the same exact, or you're literally getting the same response from him that you're saying you don't want, because you're not. It's one hand scratches the other. It's a wheel. Like, everything in that situation is like it's reciprocal. So you can't want somebody to treat you a way that you're not treating them also.
It's a trip to me. Everything that Kevin is saying is so true. The other thing is that John, he's detached, he's shut down. I've always thought he was more soft spoken when he really isn't.
Oh, shut down.
When he literally is around the fellas, he has a good time. When he stepped up to Whitney's husband, when we found out, he was like, "No, don't talk to my wife like that." We was like, "Wait up, what?" So like literally,
they still love each other, just like she's to comfort John. Like,
yeah,
like it is repairable in so many words, but at the same time, it's not if the two people aren't willing to look in the mirror. And Lisa's got to want to look in the mirror, because you can say you want to fix it all day, but if you're not really dedicating yourself to making the changes in order to grow, you might as well go get the man with the jazz ticket seats.
Well, let me see where my notes gonna take me. Oh yeah, because Lisa thinks she's perfect, and it's just not him making mistakes, and she didn't take no accountability, and she didn't say, "No, I'm not perfect. I make mistakes, John. I don't never, I never want you to think that I'm better than you, or you're my better half." And she said that before, like John is her everything, and if she loses him, she will not know what to do. So why you don't open your mouth and say that to him? And why, when he's telling you, yeah, you're perfect, and I make all the mistakes. It's always me. I'm like, bitch, you're not the victim, and stop doing that to everybody, including your husband. Stop doing that. That is weird, crazy talk. And then when he walks out the door, we're gonna look at you, girl. Ain't nobody gonna be like, "Oh, John, that's messed up. You left Lisa." No, everybody's gonna be like, "Dang, it took you that long, and you're gonna finally open your mouth." Come on, nobody got time for that. And Lisa started it with Angie saying that yacht stuff. She was the one that brought it up, and she always, like, throws a rock and she hides, and yeah, I didn't do it, girl. We remember it from the beginning to the end. We don't start from the middle, and I'm tired of her doing that to us. I'm literally tired of her doing that, and I'm glad Heather is gonna check Lisa. Like, I mean, not checking her, but trying to hold her accountable to some degree. Like, literally. But Lisa, I don't for me, she another one that just needs to be shooketh. You need to be shooketh, because you're gonna lose your husband for no reason, but for a reason that you could fix.
I think Lisa and Brittany both need a boot camp, definitely.
Nice. Boot camp would be great.
Speaking of Heather, Meredith and Heather, they do meet up to have like a little walking coffee chat. Meredith has been fighting for her life though this last 24 hours. Mama done chipped her tooth. She done stubbed her toe. All the things. She's done all the things. And she also, or I shouldn't say she, Heather is opening up about how her and Lisa's recent shopping experience went, and how she recognizes this behavior that's coming from Lisa because she's a creature of habit. She, should have evolved by now, but since she hasn't, Heather is really looking at Lisa really weird. And so Heather even asked Meredith, she's like, why did you let Lisa off the hook so easily at Whitney's party? And Meredith says, well, when Lisa and I fell out a couple years ago, she was very profusely apologizing, and she just, like, of course she was just, because, well, Heather, I should say, was like, well, obviously, because she was caught red-handed. Like, it's kind of hard for you to weasel your way out of something when you're caught red-handed and can't even deflect. So, she has to own it. So I'm not understanding why she didn't even own it in that moment. And just like for Meredith, she's like, well, my thing is you should deal with the person accordingly. When you see who they are, you should, believe it. And Heather's like, Meredith, she did it. It all tracks. Like, I'm telling you, like, she did it. What are you not hearing? And for Meredith, it's also comes down to, well, when it comes down to Angie, she's also been someone who's wronged me and stuff like that, and been somebody who is less than believable. So that's kind of the boat I'm in. Also, Heather, she didn't say that verbatim, but that's what she was speaking to. And Lisa hasn't done anything that would make me question her. So until she gives me some reason, I'm gonna believe it. And
she means since they packed. That's what she means. Since they packed. Okay, go ahead.
And I was like, look, I don't want to have to look over my shoulder all the time when it comes to Lisa. That's not how real friendship works. I don't want to be in a friendship like that. I don't want to be in a friendship like that. I don't want to be in a friendship like that. And no one should be digging up dirt on, or Meredith said, well, no one should be digging up dirt on friends, like, full stop, period. And she also says, well, girls will be girls. How did you feel about
talking about yourself, Meredith? I don't like the way Meredith is so trusting of Lisa when she knows how she moves. That's what I put in my notes. Meredith, I put Meredith takes notes of everybody doing something, and she put them in her back pocket, and she saves them for another day. That's what she does. And Lisa does the same thing, and they are friends. And so that's the only way you can defend the behavior, is because you do the same shit. Because you literally like, well, no, she's not really. No, I don't think she's. Yeah, girl, because you're doing it too. Because you're doing it too, girl. DJ Meredith, go spin some records, because it don't make no sense. Girl. I did say that. This is the part I didn't pick up. I already said they both do the same thing. They both put stuff in their arsenal, just for another day, and it always comes up because it always like they'll be arguing about something, and then it'll switch. Lisa throws some shit out that you're like, girl, you was holding on to that, like, you know what I'm saying? So we see it, Meredith. You do the same thing. So you're not pulling the wool over our eyes. And what I said, Meredith says she doesn't have Meredith says she doesn't have a great track record with Angie, but she doesn't have a great track record with Lisa either. So I'm confusion. That was the last of the notes that I had put.
No, I agree. But for Heather, it's like, when I see y'all in the comments, yes, it is a Halloween shirt.
Cute.
Okay, remember when I said Heather creamed herself after Lisa said, I love you? No, Heather wants to watch Lisa burn after the first 2 years. I think Heather is playing chess with Lisa, meaning she is befriending Lisa, yet subliminally being a Gretchen Wiener. For example, Heather's Quankster confessional is sniping Lisa on the back end. It's like, at the same time, though, I'm still like, not too much, Heather, because you like have been obsessed with this lady. And this is also like you never had this much smoke for Jen, who blacked your eye though. So it's weird. I'm still not fully putting my finger on what exactly Heather is doing. I still got the feelers out about that because yeah, I'm just not. She's presented herself like so many different ways that you can't you never know until it's, I feel like, all said and done with her. So
Right.
she could be trying to present herself one way, but it might turn out being the exact opposite. She's very calculated, and I'm just because I'm still not clear on what her end result is, what her end goal is. What she want to be at the does she want to be the queen bee?
Of course.
Not.
Yeah.
Does she not want to be friends with Lisa, or is she obsessed with Lisa to the point that she wants her? Like, I'm just trying to understand what her goal is and what
angle? What's the angle?
Yeah. So I'm gonna put a pin in that. But the last scene we get, y'all, Whitney and Angie. Whitney and Angie and Mary, I should say, they're all over Whitney's house, and they're going to be filling out their preference sheets for the yacht so that they can all have all of the things that they desire. They can have them supplied on on board the ship. And what's funny is Mary, aka the bougiest one of them all, still hasn't filled out her sheet. So she might want to do that in the best interest of her getting, you know, her
accommodations.
Carry on.
Yes, 2003, please.
All the things, Egyptian cotton, all that stuff. So Mary also says she loves being on the boat. Something about being on a yacht and just being rocked to sleep by the ocean waves is just something she loves so much. And maybe that's because she wasn't rocked to sleep when she was younger, but we'll save that childhood trauma for a different day. And so yeah, they're filling them out and everything. And I think because Angie was like, that's another thing too. I'm like, Mary, you can't fill out yours. Why is Angie? She like be treat like, that's what I'm saying. Like in friendships, we're supposed to both be here. Like there's nothing that you should be doing that's gonna make me look like I'm like the assistant or anything like that. Like just
right.
Mary, you gotta get these lessons down packed. I'm telling you. But speaking I think Andrew was like tea or coffee or something like that. Mary's like tea. Speaking of tea, have y'all heard about Bronwyn and what news broke about her? And Mary hadn't heard at this point, but Whitney, she immediately picked up that bone and she was like, "Oh yes, I saw it all over. I saw the headlines as soon as I, logged on this morning." And it's like, "Whoa! Speaking of Bronwyn headlines, what are we talking about?" Quickly pans over to Bronwyn and Todd, who are having a sit down at a bar. Todd's already there. He's got her drink ready. Everything is cool.
She needed.
Yeah, she comes in. I like that coat and paint. Like I liked her outfit in that moment. She walks in and I don't even have a picture. I have a picture on my phone. I don't have a picture on here.
Yeah, because the last time I watched it last night, but I wasn't fully watching. And when I watched it again today, I was in my bathroom, so I was listening and then go watch the piano. So my bad. But anyway, go ahead.
I should have said that Whitney, before we even panned over, she fully comes out and says, or they fully come out and say, allegedly, Bronwyn has been accused of the following, because of course, Bravo's going to come through with the receipts and stuff like that. And the headlines, we quickly see she has felonies, grand theft, identity theft, all of the things, y'all, are being hurled her way, which is why, of course, she's having to sit down with Todd. So they're sitting down and getting right to it. So in her, well, I'll save that for the end. But to him, and we kind of hit on this earlier, we have Bronwyn very much, I feel like people pleasing in this moment because she was like, oh, you know, and I know this probably reflects poorly on you at work and stuff like that. And you don't have to, you know, answer about that or whatever. And he's like, yeah, like this reflects badly on all of us. And because she had sent him messages earlier about the headlines and stuff like that. She called them ridiculous. And in her confessional, she's saying that there's two things happening here. There are mistakes that she made in college, such as an eviction notice that she got after she failed to pay. And she paid at a later date after she left BYU. And then she also said that there's also some allegations of her committing crimes present day within the past year, such as the identity theft, the grand theft, and fraud, like we just saw, which are all the things listed under the penal code. And actually, what happened is almost 10 years ago, and this case was actually dismissed, and those documents are sealed, which is why she can't talk about them legally. Todd's like, you know, this lying and BS, like I said, the press, it all impacts us negatively. And she's like, you know, it's going to cause a problem. And she also says how she brings up Lisa, and she's like, well, or should I say, Todd doesn't think that she should go on the trip outside of this. And it's like, on one hand, Lisa could actually be the one that was possibly starting these rumors, and she could also be the one that didn't start the rumor but is perpetuating them. And his whole thing again is she's talked negatively about me, about you, about Gwen, whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop, and now you're about to hop on a plane and fly 18 hours with her and be in the same room with somebody who's continuously spreading these lies. Like, girl, seriously? I wouldn't piss on her if her brain was on fire. Todd says.
That shit took me out. That shit took me out. Like, I hear when people say, you know, I wouldn't piss on you if you was on fire. But when you say your brain, if your brain was on fire, your thoughts, bitch, he ain't pissing on your thoughts.
Yeah. So that was crazy. That's how the episode ends, y'all. For me, I was just like, well, on one hand, I was like, girl, you led with the wrong thing last season. You know, y'all always hear your favorite creator say that you better, you know, spray your own tea before somebody comes on here and does it for you. I'm like, probably you should have let everybody know what skeletons were in your closet for real. Isn't that, I mean, what is that a part of her tagline this season? So but in that same breath though, I'm also like, well, maybe this is why she didn't bring it up, is because they are sealed. So that's not something that she's going to come on and be able to like speak on and stuff like that. So I'm like, multiple things can be happening right now. Nonetheless, because it's Housewives, we know this isn't going to be the last that we hear of it. It's going to reflect negatively on her. And this is, unfortunately, this is going to actually give you, I feel like some, or not you, but Todd, I feel like if he really wants to ensure that you don't come back to the show and that this is something in y'all's past, I feel like this is giving him a leg up on being able to or stand justified in his feelings about that. So I don't know. If she wasn't going to come back for any other reason next season, I could see this being the one if it trickles down negatively.
I would love to know who put that story out and how did they find it and how deep they dug, especially if it's sealed. But I don't know. We'll find out. Maybe we won't. But all I know is, child, the plot thickens.
Boy, does it. Boy, does it. Y'all know we still got quite a bit more episodes of this season. We'll be staying tuned and coming down here to discuss with you all, of course. As we said before, we will be discussing the wife swap episode as well as all other things Bravo related on a Friday. I know I still have my Real Housewives of Potomac video that'll be coming to you guys again, so make sure your notifications are on. My sis has content coming down the pipeline as well. So make sure your notifications are on for hers as well. Shout out to you guys in the chat. Shout out to everybody who came through. Oh, thank you. What? Thank you for bringing this up because I would have been pissed off on this too. Thank you so much. Pause real quick, y'all. Going back to Lisa and Heather. Wait, we didn't talk about that. Wait, see, y'all. I am 2 for doing so bad this last couple weeks. I don't know what it is. My notes keep playing tricks on me. But we did have the Heather and Lisa shopping trip. And this is where Heather, I guess you would say she called Lisa out more to her face than she's ever before. I will give her that. Because Lisa, she wants to know if Glam can come with her, and Heather's like, no, obviously it's a boat. There's a capacity that they probably are going to exceed if everybody in their Glam squad can come. Like, we can't bring everybody, girl. So no. So Heather's like, you better get Whitney to put some glitter eyeshadow on you and get Angie to do your hair. And she's like, well, pass. Hard pass. And Heather's like, she can't do your hair now? Like, what? And she's like, no, like, but speaking of Angie, it's actually good that she's going to be coming because this will be her first luxury trip. Just throwing mad shade. And Heather's like, you guys are both hazing each other. You guys are both, Heather's bottom line is y'all are both as guilty as the other one. So you want to come around here and continuously pointing your finger at Angie, and that same finger can be pointed back at you as well. Like, did you forget about the soup man? Like, hello. Lisa's like, the soup man? What you talking about? So Heather's like, yeah, the soup man, you said it at Whitney's party. And Lisa's like, no, like soup man. So apparently, y'all, Lisa didn't say soup man. She said suit man, which is even more wild. But according to Heather, that actually is a lot more hot to her. She's so to her that this is a suit man, not a soup man. Only Heather would say something like that. Nonetheless, I feel like we can remove that from the list now.
Because we was all both confused last week. Like, what does soup? Who?
I was Angie. I was talking about line of soups, especially since they live in the Real Housewives, or the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. They live in Salt Lake City. Somebody should come out with a line, a soup line. I feel like that would be well for them now. And name it the soup man. But I'm not giving y'all no more free ideas this season. For this scene though, I was just like, I felt like when Lisa put her glasses on and started to like try to cry and walk away and stuff like that, I felt like that was her doing that deflecting thing and being called out and stuff like that, and her wanting to try to play victim in that moment. Again, I just don't know what Heather's agenda is, so I didn't really know how to take this, but it was interesting to watch. I'll say that it was interesting to watch. Because we've never really seen this before from Heather, and it was quite entertaining.
Yeah, I said earlier, when I was reading my notes, I had said I ran right into Lisa started with Angie first by saying that this is gonna be her first time on a yacht, like so, and it was just like, there you go. I don't think she realized those little subtle things are amplified because it's coming from your mouth and you're talking about Angie. If you didn't care about Angie, you wouldn't even talk about her. Like, she would be the last person on your lips, but you keep doing it, which means you really care about her. In my my humble opinion. And I had told y'all that she throws rocks and hides her hand. Her trying to walk off was weird. It's like, Don't get mad. You the one said that you love Heather because Heather holds your feet to the fire, unlike other people. I mean, as much as you allow her to do. But like, so why is it now you trying to run away with your money in your hand?
She did have a lot of money.
I said, girl, why you carrying all that cash? Don't be around me and drop it.
A lot of people were saying it online. I didn't think it was weird. I mean,
It's not really weird.
I always try to have, in an electronic digital world, I try to have some cash on me. But
I do too. You know,
I
I
didn't
get
weird up because especially because they're shopping. But
for me, I was like, are you trying to hide that you're shopping from your husband? I know he knows, but I was just like, why do you have this one? Did another man hand you that? So I'm gonna just leave it at why the hell you got I'm gonna leave it there because like literally you so balling and you got all this money, where's your black card? It looked like your friend gave you some money to go shopping. And if we find that out, Lisa, I'm really not gonna like you. I don't like you right now. I'm gonna really not like you if you've been doing anything that people have been accusing you of doing behind John's back.
Because it's like you could just got divorced, but whatever.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it for me. As far as I'm glad Heather, tried to hold her feet to the fire as much as she could, and Lisa, stop trying to cry and try to play victim. We see you, girl.
Facts. Yeah, I don't have anything else, y'all. Again, shout outs to you guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, do all the things. Make sure that you tune in again on Friday for all things Bravo related.
Yes.
Make sure you're following us on our socials that have been scrolling along the bottom of the screen. And again, we will see you guys in the next one.
Bye. Thank y'all. Bye, guys.